So today I am joined by a true multi-hyphenate, music icon, style legend, and all-round creative maestro, Jean-Pierre Barda. Jean-Pierre became a global star as a member of Sweden's Army of Lovers, who found success with their multitude of hits, including Crucified, Israelism, Give My Life, could go on and on and on. The band have since reunited for their 2023 album Sexodus and will be touring Europe as well as celebrating the album's upcoming release on vinyl and CD and cassette. So thank you so much, Jean-Pierre, for giving up your time. Very exciting for me to be talking to you.
Thank you. Exciting for me to be talking to you too, and a pleasure.
Excellent. So let's jump in and think about Sexodus, because it has been a long time since Army of Lovers have brought out a new album. And you're back with new music and some kind of revised versions of older tracks. What inspired this comeback, this return?
So actually, we started working on the new songs already before COVID. When I was in Tel Aviv, Alexandra and Dominika came down to visit, and we started work on it. I was in a very bad shape. I just broken my hip. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So we kind of just, everything went down the drain somehow. So we've left the idea. The basic thought was we're going to celebrate the 30th anniversary. So anyway, that didn't happen. And then we had Olya Polyakova, a Ukrainian singer, who contacted us through one of our music composers, on the chanson, who she'd been working with. And then she knew that he'd been working with us, and she's a big fan, and she wanted to do some kind of a collaboration. And we loved that idea, and we started to juggle things in between us, and it ended up with Love is Blue. And from there, we just got excited and carry on, and we picked up where we left in Tel Aviv. We had some parts of Sexodus written down and ready, and we had some part for Romanism, but everything wasn't in place. But everything fell to place after we met with Olya. She inspired us. She's great girl.
Love is Blue is such a great track. It really is. It's this sort of sharpness of the lyrics, but it's also got these Europop, Eurodance flavors, and it just felt like you'd never been away.
Oh, that's fun to hear. Yeah, it's kind of a tribute to our roots, like old like the 90s and 80s music, and yeah.
So getting back into the studio together, did that just feel natural, or did it take a little bit of getting used to?
Actually, it wasn't. We didn't feel uncomfortable or unusual. It was just like, it's like meeting an old friend that you haven't seen for a long time, and you just pick up where you left. And it doesn't feel that you had time going in between. So
yeah, we've mentioned Love is Blue, and you mentioned Romanism as well. Which of the new songs speaks to you the most personally? Do you have a favorite or a track that stands out to you?
Oh, wow, that's a very difficult question always to answer. It's kind of asking which one of your kids is your favorite, especially when you have newborns like these are. So, wow, it's difficult. I would say it totally depends on the mood, but it's really difficult. I can't pick one. Of course, if you would force me to pick one, it would be Romanism, of course, which is like my parade.
It's kind of tapping into sort of Romany culture, isn't it? And it's got a real sort of traditional feel and real traditional flavor. It feels quite new for Army of Lovers to kind of explore that. I know you've always kind of explored other cultures and customs, but this felt like quite a new kind of chapter for you guys. It was interesting to hear that one.
Yeah, we've done this before. A lot of our material is influenced by culture and other culture and our culture as well. And the Roman culture is so beautiful. It has such a musical treasure. And we've always had this fascination and love for this kind of music. We just haven't been going down that road. And we finally decided to do. And this is a lot thanks to Anders Wolbeck, who is one of our other big music composers, which had an idea to work with this Roman song. So there's part of an original song, and then we've added to it. And then so some people ask, like, well, how come the Indian references? And the thing is that the Roman culture is supposed to come from India. That's one of the hypotheses that about the roots of the Roman people. So it came natural to use that as well. And you know, it's gods and everything that we love to play around with.
And it's really nice to see that reflected in the new artwork for the vinyl and the CD. It's really quite spectacular, isn't it? It's very eye-catching, very Army of Lovers, very decadent. So we should also mention that the vinyl, the CD, and the cassette and the bundles are all available to order now at Maschina Records, which is
Exactly.
They really take care of the pressings and stuff. I've ordered a few things from them before, and it's really nice, high quality, lovely stuff.
It is. If we wouldn't be working with them if it wasn't for the quality, because the quality is really great. And it's really fun to do this whole bundle because, I mean, we've been around for a while. And when we released our first stuff, it was on vinyl and cassette. So it feels totally natural to have them included in this bundle.
Absolutely. And you know, if it takes one look at your Facebook page to see the fans want physical copies, they are desperate for them. So there'll be a lot of happy people in the world today.
I think, you know, I'm a little bit, when it comes to physical things now in this digital age, it's like with magazines. I still love to have a glossy magazine in my hands and I want to read it and hold it, even if I can read it online. But it's not the same thing. You want to have a physical thing in your hand. And I think it's the same thing when it comes to the records and the CDs.
I think you're right. I think streaming, it feels more disposable, doesn't it? It's great that you can have that instant, okay, I want to listen to this song and you can play it, but it doesn't have the same retention as putting on a record or a CD and listening to the album as it was planned by the artists.
It's practical. It's really practical. But the thing is also there's another level to the physical things, and it's like with the books, for example. I remember once when I moved into a new flat and I didn't get all my stuff at the same time. I didn't get all my books, and it wasn't until I got the books in my flat that I felt like, oh, you know, it's you have a history. It's yeah, and it's the same with your records, your CDs, and even the vinyls. I still have my old, you know. So I think it's, you know, to have the physical ones, it's like to have like a postcard, a memory, physical.
Yeah, it's lovely. You've re-recorded Carry My Urn to Ukraine and Israelism for Sexodus, and they're familiar, but they've got a nice contemporary 2023, 2024 edge to them. Was that strange to revisit these songs again?
Well, so the reason we revisited Israelism is because it's the 35th anniversary of the song, and we wanted to celebrate that. And we also wanted to, you know, the fun thing to do a new version of an old song is that you can give it a different vibe. And we wanted to have a version that was a little bit more dancey and a little bit more uplifting. The first one is kind of militant and marchy, and I love that vibe as well. But we wanted to have like a cool dancey one, so we did this version. And then Carry My Urn to Ukraine, or Clash of the Titans, as it's called now, the new name for it. We've always loved this song. It's always been one of our favorite songs, and we felt like it deserved a second chance because there's, as you can, you know, when you listen to the first version, which is still good, but when you listen to the new version, it's like it should have been bombastic and just more of it all.
Yeah, it's a nice accompaniment. It's nice to have both options.
Yeah, and we thought the song had, you know, it felt like it belonged to the comments of today.
Yeah,
let's say like that.
Absolutely. I need to ask, are Army of Lovers now back for good? Are we going to get more new music and new albums and tours, and you're back into it for good?
I wish I had a crystal ball that could tell me that, but you know, hey, we're three all three of us are I wouldn't say messy, but things happen all the time, and we've constantly been going and coming back, going, and so I think this is we're here, and once in a while we'll probably pop up. I think we are really looking forward to do stuff when we are getting really, really old.
You'll all come out in your chairs.
Yeah, because that would be so fun. We're already, we're already doing it, taking that a bit in advance, of course. But
yeah,
I think that would be really fun to see where Army of Love is in 20 more years.
We'll be waiting for it, absolutely. Well, I need to go back because my childhood was sneaking up to my room in the evenings and watching Eurotrash. And that was where I discovered Army of Lovers was Eurotrash. Do you have fond memories of that show and taking part in that? Because I know that introduced you to a lot of kind of UK fans as well.
I know. I love that show. That was a great show together with Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Yeah.
That was like his love child. And actually, I have a very funny memory for when we did a thing in his shop, and leaving, we said something about stay in touch, and I said, well, I don't have your number. And he said, oh, well, hold on. And then he took a scarf and he wrote his private number on the scarf and gave it to me.
Amazing. That is a memento to keep. Do you still have it?
Of course, I still have the scarf.
I love
but
it.
I don't think the number works anymore.
You can find him. He's got social media. So obviously, Army of Lovers has been celebrated for its really bold, flamboyant style and the amazing music. How do you kind of did you realize at the time that you were pushing boundaries as a group, or did it just kind of feel like you were having fun and enjoying it?
It was more about having fun, and at the time, the big thing in fashion was the grunge. And for us, it was like, that's so boring. And when you have the possibility to do this, so why just not go all in? And so it was more about having fun, go all in. And then if possibly pushing boundaries, it would be on a personal level, talking for myself, that, to see, where is the limit? Do I have limits? Should you have limits?
No. Excess. Yeah, I think it's true. When you watch the music videos back and the kind of listen to the music, there's a real sense of decadence and flamboyance that nobody else was really doing. And I think it really kind of cements you in history and culture as these kind of, boundary breaking stars. So very proud. You should be very proud.
Thank you.
I need to ask, do you have a favorite Army of Lovers line to sing when you're performing or when you're singing? Is there one that you look forward to? Like, this is my line coming up and I love singing this bit.
Ooh, this is the tough one too, but I think maybe it would be the moon is high and so am I. It's actually, it's in Romanism, and actually we used it before. It's a reference to Ride the Bullet, because it's in the Ride the Bullet as well. And actually it's a line from a Baccarat song.
Oh, okay. There you go. I never realized that. What?
Yeah.
So it's in a Baccarat song?
I can't remember the name of the song, but the line is so fucking crazy fun. The moon is high and so am I.
Yeah. I love the fact that Baccarat. Oh, sorry.
It's from Sorry I'm a Lady.
Sorry I'm a Lady. Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Ah. Well, this Baccarat brings me on to thinking about Eurovision, because Baccarat obviously did well at Eurovision. And Army of Lovers took to the Melodifestivalen stage in 2012. Do you have fond memories of that experience, or is it disappointing to you, in a sense?
I had so much fun. The only disappointment is eventually that the collaboration with Camilla didn't work.
Yeah,
that's sad. That was sad, but the whole experience was amazing. I mean, they're so professional. Everybody's so kind. I'm really scared. I have stage fright. I've had all my life stage fright, and especially when you go on direct show, like live shows. And in this case, we weren't allowed to do playback, except for La Camilla. That part was playback, and it was obvious. We showed who was singing as well. It was part of the choreography, you know, taking the throne to the side. So, but the rest we had to do live. But I didn't. It was such an upper. I didn't have my regular stage fright. I just had so much fun. Then the song, of course, I love the song, but between me and you, it's not really a Eurovision song or a mellow song, and it wasn't meant to. It was meant to be a club track, and then Christer Björkman, who was head of the mellow here in Sweden, heard rumors about this and asked Alexander if we possibly could do a 3 minute, like rearrange it for the mellow in a 3 minute version. And we thought, yeah, well, why not?
Yeah,
let's do that. And it's really fun.
And it's also on the new album. I like the fact that you've brought some of the big Battle of Egos tracks onto the Sexodus for the new release, which is nice. Nice to have them with a full album. We need to also talk about the documentary Army of Lovers in the Holy Land. And I know, obviously, you have your roots in Israel and it's a special place in your heart. Can you tell me how that project came about? Because it's an interesting one.
So the director of the documentary, Asaf Galai, was a huge fan of the band in the 90s. And I think he was like running the fan club group in Israel. And he was always puzzled, you know, how come all these Jewish references in the songs? And he wanted to do something for many, many years. And he contacted Alexander many times without getting any answers. And in the end, I don't know what happened, but Alexander answered back and we started to talk. And when they heard that I was going to do my aliyah, the immigration to Israel, they were like, well, we have to do this. So it became a story about the Jewish heritage of the band and my journey to Israel. Yeah. But it was meant to be a thing about the band only, and then I stole the show, of course.
The star emerged.
I couldn't help myself.
I love that. So we mentioned La Camilla and how it never kind of quite worked out as we hoped back in 2012. Is there still kind of open communication with La Camilla and Michaela as well, or is that kind of in the past?
I think it's after the Melodifestivalen experience, it's in the past. I mean, we tried, I think this was the third time we tried to do something together again, and it just doesn't work. It's really sad. It's super sad because she's amazing. She's a character, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And that's really sad.
Yeah, it's tough, I suppose, but you have a really good thing going with Dominika and Alexander, and as a three-piece, the band really does thrive, and the new album has shown that.
Oh, we're like a family. We're like a family, and Dominika and I actually go way back from before the band as well. Though we didn't hang out or anything. We used to be in the same school, so for a moment she was in the same class as my youngest brother, and so we're like family. We're like family.
Oh, that's fascinating. I need to go back to, you mentioned school, so we need to go back to your early life. And how did you find yourself in the creative world? I know obviously you worked in Barbie before Army of Lovers, but before that, how did you kind of find yourself in the creative world?
Most things in my life just happened. I've been very lucky to be at the right place and meeting the right people. I've always been creative and channeled that in the with artistic things. I used to paint a lot and draw a lot, and I was singing in choirs and stuff. But I was just lucky to and just followed. I'm an easygoing person, sometimes a little bit too easy, not planning so much. Oh, this is fun, let's go in that direction. So the only choices I've ever made in my life has been to become a hairdresser. that was an active choice because I had to have a profession, and from there, actually, a lot of things. The reason I met Alexander is because of my work as a makeup artist and hairdresser.
It all just falls into place.
Yes.
I think that's a nice approach, because a lot of the things in the universe we stress ourselves out trying to control and trying to make things happen, and actually, what's for you won't go past you in that sense, and you just kind of have to roll with fate, don't you?
Yeah, and sometimes, yeah, like in my case, I would say, I mean, some people want to have this feeling of control. For me, I've been too busy having fun, and instead of maybe making plans, which actually, I mean, the combination of those two would be good. But I've been lucky. I've been really lucky.
Good. Let's reflect on your success in the industry. You've mentioned luck, but there's more to it than luck. There's talent there as well. Do you kind of reminisce a lot, or are you quite forward thinking and are more interested in the new things and looking back on former glories?
I think looking back can be fun, and looking back, you more or less, I mean, you have the past with you. Nothing in the future happens without what happened in the past. So it's like with the new material, we're not reinventing the wheel or reinventing ourselves. We are reconnecting with our roots and our style, and of course it's updated because the sounds are new, and the technical parts around us are different, and you're able to do different things with the sound picture. But no, I think it's important to be in the now, and from the now you get into the future. Did that make sense?
It did. I'm with you. Last question. This is maybe a deep one to finish on, but is there any wisdom you would pass on to your younger self?
Ooh, without being cliche, wow, I would say try to be true to yourself. Don't mold yourself after other people's opinions. Try to stay true to yourself. If you stay true to yourself, you will attract people that like you the way you are.
Lovely. Yeah.
And trust me, there is always somebody there for everyone.
Yeah. That's a nice, positive, optimistic note to close on. Well, I did say last question, but I'm going to sneak in one more. Are you coming to the UK? We would love to see you here for some live dates.
I would love to. I hope we are. We've been very close to be at the London Pride.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen, unfortunately. But it's been like super, super close, like a couple of times. So let's hope it's going to work out this time around.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, absolutely. Well,
I would love to.
It's such a joy to talk to you, and I really appreciate you devoting some time to
chat
to me. We'll put the links in for all the pre-order options for the Sexodus album, and good luck. Can't wait to see more of the band and more of you guys.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye.